Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Maddie's Rap, the show where we rap about things that guys rap about when we're hanging out. I'm your host, Arthur Matt D. Talford, and today we're going to be talking about, of all things, politics. Now I know, you guys that have been following me for a while, you're probably going to say, Matt, you told us you don't talk about politics on this channel. What's up with that? Let me say this. I don't like to talk politics because politics is so divisive. And, it's like, politics is like tomato or tomato, potato, potato. People got their different preference, whatever. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about partisan issues. I don't. But every now and then there arises a need to discuss something that we could all possibly or potentially benefit from. And that's what I'm all about. So without further ado, let me get into it. Matt, what are you talking about politics today for? What's this topic? The topic is fair elections. Fair elections. Now, before you turn the channel or before you say, oh, where's he going with this? Let me say this. I don't care if you voted for Donald Trump. I don't care if you voted for Joe Biden. I don't care if you voted Green Party. I don't care if you voted Libertarian. I don't care if you didn't vote. I really don't care. But, I was sitting there. Let me just cut right to the chase. I spent about an hour this morning listening to, or not this morning, but, this morning. I don't know what time of day you're watching this. And I don't know why that automatic windshield wiper just went on. There's no moisture on the windshield. Anyway, must be Windows running this computer. Did I say that? Yeah, I did. Now, anyway, let me get back to my point here. I spent about an hour listening to the Senate hearings on election irregularities. And the conclusion I came to is this. You can't have it both ways. All right? What do you mean by that, Matt? There's only one way to really have a fair and transparent election. And that is for the citizens of the United States to vote the same way they do in the House and in the Senate. What do I mean by that? There's no secret ballot in the House and the Senate. You know exactly how each senator and each representative votes on whatever the issue is that's on the floor. Okay? Whatever the bill is, if they want to vote whether or not to make it law, you know how everybody voted. Okay? Or you know if they abstained. You know that. So, how does that affect our elections process? First of all, let me deal with the downside of that, because I know some of you are thinking it, and then I'll come back and tell you why I feel like it's really the only way to do it, because I feel like it's the only solution for getting rid of these notions of whether or not there was voter fraud, okay, or election fraud or whatever. The downside of, let me first say how we do it, how it should be done. Every person should first begin by registering to vote. If you already registered, that part's taken away. Okay, that part's out of the way, I should say. If you've already registered to vote, that part is out of the way. Now that you're registered to vote, every voter is assigned to a precinct based on their home address. So, what should happen is there should be a voting period that lasts, I don't know, maybe a week, maybe a couple weeks, I don't know. But during this voting period, you go down to your precinct and you basically, before some election official and on camera, you cast your vote for each person or each referendum that's on that ballot verbally. So in other words, if it's a yes/no vote, that referendum is read and you vote yes or no. If it's a person you're voting for, then you say, I cast my vote for XYZ seat for, and the person's name. And, you raise your right hand, make an affirmation if you need to, whatever, or you don't even have to do that, really. I mean, because everybody knows it's you because you're on camera. And then that vote is recorded, okay? And then there's a running scoreboard, just like they have in Congress. There's a running scoreboard that tells you which candidate is in the lead based on the number of votes in that precinct, okay? In that precinct. So you see how that precinct is going, and you see what the votes are going, how they're going, whatever. Now, some of you go, and then when the voting time ends or the precinct closes, then there's no more votes, just like there is in the current system. And then you already know what candidate won that particular precinct. Okay, it's already known, and then each precinct turns in their final tally, their final aggregate of votes, and then you get the total number for that state or that county or whatever, and then those are added to the national pool or whatever, and then you do whatever you want to do with the electoral college or whatever. That part I don't care about. I'm just talking about the open and honest and fair elections. Now, you might say, well, there's some downsides to that, okay? The downside to it that comes out, or that comes to mind immediately, is voter intimidation. See, and the whole secret ballot system is, I think, to protect you from, voter intimidation. Nobody knows who you voted for, so nobody can intimidate you and say, oh, you should have voted for such and such. Because you didn't, I'm gonna get you, or whatever. Whatever, okay? So that, of course, the secret ballot protects you from that, but the secret ballot also leaves you open for what we got going on in this country right now, for what other countries deal with when it comes to their elections and there being questions about the validity of an election. Now, with regards to, I want to keep my vote secret. Let's be honest with ourselves, okay? Let's be very honest. All of us who are on social media, or you have friends or whatever, most people already know. I would say with 90% accuracy, most of your family and friends and people who know you can tell with 90%. What about, I'm just going to pull a number out of the air and say 90%. Most people who know you can judge with 90% accuracy who you either going to vote for or who you voted for already. Most people who know you know how you're going to vote because you're usually vocal about that. Now, you could be throwing them a red herring and making them think, oh, I'm voting this way, and then vote another way. But most people can, I would say, 9 out of 10 times tell you who you're going to vote for or tell you who you voted for based on your opinions as voiced by you. So there's no secret there. Now, this is the only thing where there's secrets with regards to who you're pulling for, right? I mean, like football, baseball, basketball, whatever. Everybody knows by your jersey that you're wearing, your fan jersey, or by your discussions, if you're pulling for the Lakers or if you're pulling for the Celtics. If you're pulling for the Bulls or if you're pulling for the Knicks. Okay? If you're pulling for Tom Brady and the Patriots, or if you're pulling for Eli Manning and the Giants. Everybody knows how you're going. You're Cowboys or Redskins, or, Washington football team now. Everybody knows who you're going for with everything. If it's a boxing match, are you going for Evander or are you going for Mike Tyson? Are you going for Deontay? Are you going for Tyson, Gypsy, Fury, whatever his name is? Everybody knows how you're leaning with everything, including politics. So there's really no secret. I mean, people who know you know how you're going to vote anyway. So anyway, that's the disadvantage out of the way. Voter intimidation, that's a disadvantage to open and public elections where there's no hidden ballots. You go out and you go to a precinct and you declare your name, you show your voter registration, you show your ID, and you stand on an X where there's a camera pointed and you tell an election official who reads off a ballot and you say, I vote for this person and I vote yes or no on this referendum. And then done. It gets tallied. The count goes up on the little meter, just like you at the doggone DMV. You can see what the number is, or you at a football game, you can see what the scoreboard is or whatever. Everybody knows. Everybody knows who's winning. And then now here's the advantage to that. The advantage to that system is you are on record voting for someone. There's no mistakes, okay? There's no guessing, oh, well, no, I went and voted for this person. Because the truth is, when you cast your ballot, you don't know how your ballot was counted. You don't. But if it's a matter of public record, how each citizen of a precinct voted, where you can go then after the election results are turned in and closed, you can go and look on a public facility or website or whatever and see all of the names of the people in your precinct and find your name on there and certify, hey, yeah, this says that I voted for that person and your name's next to it with your signature or whatever. Doesn't have to be your signature for you people that's worried about somebody copying your signature or whatever. Doesn't have to be signature that you're seeing on the website. You just need to see your name with the person that you voted for and then what that count is. And then the public can actually hold these election officials accountable, and then we don't have to worry about people who volunteer to do election work or whatever. You don't have to worry about volunteers. The entire public can then hold the election commissions accountable for properly recording their votes. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. I would like to ask you, what do you think would happen if Congress, if the House of Representatives and the Senate all did secret ballots? Imagine that. Imagine how messy that would be if none of the other senators and congressmen could hold their fellows accountable for their vote. I mean, you could have, I'm not even going to intimate what could happen. Imagine that. Imagine for yourselves what it would look like if our Senate and House of Representatives did not publicly cast their vote before their other former representatives and senators. What that would look like. Okay? So, to wrap this up, I personally think, and again, this will be a long time before I talk politics on this channel again. I'm way more into scripture stuff and things that people can benefit from or whatever. But anyway, it'll be a long time before I talk politics again. To wrap this up, I think that the only way to truly have fair elections is for them to truly be transparent, is to publicly cast your vote. And for those of you to say, well, I can't go to a precinct and vote, I do the absentee thing or I do the mail-in, guess what? There are now internet devices, internet connection, and guess what? If you don't have internet access, well, first off, if you got internet access, you can log into a website and videotape yourself casting your vote. Okay, I such and such, I John Doe, vote for president, this person or that person. My vote for Senate is this person or that person, okay? And go down the list. Don't know that. Get rid of the straight party stuff. Make people go straight down the list and say, I vote this, 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 and this. And they can record it, and then that video gets uploaded to whatever election commission or whatever for your precinct or your state or whatever. And for those that don't have internet, my grandmother doesn't have internet, she wants to vote. Then you send your election people door to door with a phone. Everybody's got phones now, phone or tablet, and they say hi. They show them their ID. I'm such and such or whatever. You go there with somebody, a sheriff or something. I don't know. You go there and you get that vote on video. All right, from them who doesn't have an internet connection, and then they upload that vote, via their cellular signal or whatever. They upload it real time right there after that person has finished that, and it gets uploaded to the proper server or whatever with that person's vote on it, and that takes care of that too. So then you don't have to worry about the mail-in ballots. If you're a soldier serving overseas, you want to vote, guess what? You can transmit that vote they can set it up right there over wherever your installation is, your post, your base, whatever. You can go do it right there. So that's about it. If you want to have truly fair and transparent elections, you got to just do away with the secret ballot. It's got to be done away with. Voting, you do everything else in public. When you got jury duty, you're not secretly, when you're on jury duty and you're in that jury room deliberating a case, everybody in there knows how you voted. There's no secret where you're writing down anything like that we got to get rid of the secret ballot. That's the only way to do this thing the fair way. And as far as the voter intimidation, the people are already doing voter intimidation with the secret ballot. So I don't think it gets any worse. People know how you're leaning by your Facebook post. They know how you're leaning by your Twitter post. They know how you're leaning by your coffee station conversations at work or your break room conversations at work. 90% accuracy, the people in your circle, your family or friends, can tell you how you're going to vote with 90% accuracy, just based on your conversation and your opinions. So there's no need for us. The archaic thing right now is the secret ballot. If they had secret ballots in Congress, we'd have a bigger mess. This has been an interesting video, interesting subject matter for me today. I don't like to talk politics, but I just wanted to maybe throw an idea out there that could possibly give some solutions for the mess that we have going on in this country right now. If you voted for Donald Trump, then you think and you're listening to what's happening, everything, and you're hearing the testimony of these different election people that worked, and they say, oh yeah, there's some fraud here going on, then you think that this wasn't a fair election. If you voted for Joe Biden, and with everything that's going on, you think that Trump is belly aching, and you're like, hey, we're wasting taxpayer dollars going after voting irregularities or whatever, and blah, 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 blah. It's funny how these things become partisan because, anyway, I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to talk, I want to keep this nonpartisan, as I said early on. Listen, you guys have a great day. I know this was different video for me, and hopefully I won't be doing another one like this for a while. but I felt like it was necessary. So anyway, listen, tell somebody you love them and mean it. If you like this video did anything for you, give it a thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I've uploaded a new video. And more importantly, if you like this video, chances are somebody you know or somebody you like or somebody you deal with is going to like it too, but they can't know about it if you don't share it. So please share the video. And you guys listen, tell somebody you love them and mean it, but more importantly, show it to them, because you can tell them, but if you don't show it, your words were empty. And last but not least, check out some of my writing. The author of From Fear to Faith, A Survivor Story, which again is a book that tells you how mindset can help you overcome the worst of circumstances. Then there's Captain's Mate for you tennis players out there, especially you league, USTA players and tournament players. And even if you're not a tournament player, there's some leadership principles that you can glean from that book that you actually can carry with you both on and off the court. And last but not least, what can a 1 hour conversation teach us about how we look at each other with regards to race and gender even? Stuck in an Elevator, winner or finalist for the 2019 Book Excellence Awards Best New Fiction, is available on Kindle and iBooks. And that's about it for me. You guys have a great day. This is your favorite storyteller, Matt D. Talford. Peace.